Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about facilitating people that don't want to be facilitated and or what to do when it's challenging like that, if I can. This message comes from a student, and she's overseas, and she said that she works with a group that works with elderly people that are socially isolated and have suicidal tendencies. And they come to see and they have access to group activities. And then this person, they teach them classes, and then they also use like a little bit of contemplation with these people. And there's also access to a psychologist. Now, there's somebody that, my student works with, and she says, when I chat with her outside of the classes, she tells me that she's feeling bad, but she will never be able to get better. And then I have the feeling that for her, getting better would mean forgetting her deceased son. And when we talk about this case during our professional meetings, me and the other professionals, we are blocked with the shrug emoji. She comes to the group, and maybe that's enough for her. We can't force her to get better if she doesn't want to. Okay, so now, yeah, that's tough. So, in terms of, that's a tough question, because I'm just going to say some things. All right, this is a perspective, it's a point of view. Just use it for your consideration. Again, we're a little bit outside of my wheelhouse, so I'm just going to say some things, some considerations from my mind to you related to this stuff. Now, how do you facilitate somebody like that, or what can you do? Well, I think when people are particularly stubborn, one of the things that I use, and I've noticed over the years is that one of the things with the mind is if you ask the mind a question, it must answer the question. It does that. Automatically, it does that. So which means, in essence, you can force somebody to think about something, and all you need to do to get that to happen is to ask them a corresponding question, and they will think about it. Knee-jerk, automatically, right? Like, what does a banana look like? See, right now you have a picture of a banana, or at least you thought about a banana, or something banana-related came into your experience. Why? Because you have to fucking do that with your mind. Or, hey, what's 2 plus 2? 4. Excuse me, you see? So now, if I was working with somebody who's stubborn, I wouldn't try to change them. Because if you try to change somebody who's stubborn, they usually just shut down right away. So there's like a wall. You can't get through. Now, but something you can do is ask them questions, and then you can get them to consider things. Hey, how much longer do you want to be upset? I can't, like something with this lady. I will never be able to get better. Is that true? Never? Is that actually true? Are you telling me the truth right now about never? Or is that just how it feels? You see, so I'm asking question after question. And then they might start thinking about it. Is that actually true? Never get better? Do you want to get better? I might ask that question. Do you want to get better? Do you enjoy these feelings of suffering? Do you enjoy this depression? Is this something that you really like? Because fuck it, maybe they really like it. If they really like it, fuck, dude, be depressed. Go ahead. Likely not. Do you enjoy this feeling that you have of mourning your son? Do you like it? No. Do you want to do something about it? See, it might get them to think about whether they can do something about it, right? And you see how the questions just keep coming. Or I keep asking them. This is a tactic that I would take with this person. Just ask questions. And then when I'm asking the questions, I ask it from a place of, I'm not trying to get them to change. Perhaps I'll put a little love in the questioning. In this case, lots of love, because she's dealing with somebody who's dead. It's like, look, yeah, you're in pain. I get it. I'm sorry. How long do you want to be in pain for? Because it looks to me like you've been in pain long enough, don't you think? You see? Don't you think? Question. And then love. Like, do my best to accept the person as they are, love them, support them, and then ask them questions to clarify what their experience is. Like, try to get their experience, really hear them. Yeah, so there's one thing. Now, if they say they do not want to get better, then of course, yeah, there's no way you're going to help them. You can't do anything about that. Great, you just let them be. Teach them as best you can. Make them comfortable, I guess. But if they do say they want to get better, good, now we can work. Great. Now, and then again, more questions. Well, you want to get better. You want to make a difference. How could you do that? Question. What do you think would make a difference in that effort? Another question, you see? And again, pushing it towards them. Because at the end of the day, they're responsible. So then another tactic or another direction I would push is if most people are not responsible for their minds. They usually think that their feelings are created by something external to them. They have no choice, like this lady, I will never get better. It's not me. I can't do anything about it. I'm helpless. Is that true? No, because you made the shit up in your mind in the first place, but you can't tell people that. So okay, so I'm jumping a little bit quickly here, but I can work to get them responsible. Who's the one who's feeling upset? You are. Do you like it? No. Okay. Who's responsible for you changing that? Can I change your feelings? You see how it's like, another question. Who's responsible for changing that? Can I change your feelings? Is that my job to change your feelings? You see, another question, because I cannot do that. And I can gently confront people, again, depending on the environment. Sometimes I'm harsh, sometimes I can be more gentle. It just depends on, if you're working with somebody, it depends very much on their mind and their experience and what they have going on. So you have to pay very close attention, not to your experience, but to their experience. What is their experience? Now, how are you going to work with that to get that from its depressed state into something happy? See, so I might get them responsible. Asking questions. Who's experiencing the pain? And then I might invite somebody, again, I don't know, it seems to me working with older people, as far as I can tell, the older people get, the more they become set in their ways, and then they don't move off of their position as much, as far as I can tell. Some people are very closed-minded, they're stuck. I get them responsible, and then I would also work to get them to start to notice the consequences of their thoughts. Start to notice the consequences of what they do. Hey, did you notice that when you do Qigong, how do you feel? Oh, I feel good. Interesting. So when you do Qigong, you feel good. When you think about your dead son, you feel shitty. Okay, start to notice that. There's consequences to what you do with your mind. If you change those things that you do, you'll change how you feel. And then you can start to master how you feel. See, so again, I'd invite them to notice the consequences of what they do. And then also, so get them to notice the consequences, and then also, there's assumptions in there. Like, I think you hit on one assumption is like, if I forget my son, if I don't think about my son, I will forget him, or that means that he doesn't mean anything to me anymore. No, your son will mean everything to you forever. Just because you aren't sad doesn't mean you don't care. You see, I think there may be an assumption in there that if I'm no longer sad about my son dying, it means that I don't love my son or I don't care about my son. This is a false assumption. It's not true. I'm sure you love your son very much. I'm sure you care very much. But that doesn't mean you have to be upset about it. Or, see another thing you could say. How would your son want you to live? Would your son want to see you this upset? Again, more questions. Is this how your son would want you to be? Does your son love you? Of course. You think they want to see you upset? No. So then it's okay. It's okay to let go. See, and then so I might gently work in that direction to where my client was like, it's okay to let go. It's okay to be done with it. It's okay. You've grieved enough, don't you think? How long's it been? You know, there might be other assumptions. I've failed as a mother. I've never experienced this, right? I'm sure no parent wants to outlive their kid. It's probably devastating. But at some point, coming from the quick version, right, the Ralstonian side of things, get over it. Move on. It's over. They're dead. They're gone. It's okay. You can let go now. You've grieved enough. That's another thing that tends to happen. It's like, I'll put a time limit on the grieving. I need to grieve and grieve and grieve and grieve and grieve and grieve, which is like, ow, I'm hurt, I'm hurt, I'm hurt, I'm hurt, I'm hurt, I'm hurt. For how long? For how long do you want to be hurt? I could ask that. Again, you see how I put on the gentle tone for this, the love? Yeah, it's like, how much longer do you want to be in pain? Might ask them that. 5 minutes? Are you done yet? It's been a year. How much longer? When's the due date? When are you going to be done? And then make it happen. Because at the end of the day, the decision to get over it, the decision to move on, the decision to love yourself enough to let go, I just made that up, it sounds pretty good, comes from within. And that's another thing that, again, that's the responsibility part. It's like they have to decide. So I cannot control other people's decisions. I can do my best to manipulate them so that they decide one way or another. But again, the power is in the person always. It's just people's degree of responsibility that they take for those decisions is usually piss poor. So it looks like I'm giving my power up to somebody else, which that's what most people do. But that's not how it actually works. All right? So those are some considerations for you regarding this, your student, your client there. I wish you luck. I hope that this video has served you in some way. All right, you can use this, play it to your colleagues. I don't know if they could find it useful. At least just some ideas from a different mind on the matter. And good luck. I wish them well, no matter what happens. Okay? So thanks very much for watching. I'm Brendan Lee. If you want to get involved, you can hit me up in the forum. Check the links in the description. If you want to do other types of work, come here. We do really powerful workshops that make a killer difference in your life. They'll really accelerate your growth in those areas. They're really good. And otherwise, I work with people one-on-one, coaching, I have monthly calls. Just check the links in the description. And remember, if you want to get involved past just the entertainment value of the videos, you've got to get involved. All right. Also, we have a weekly, Consciousness Weekly newsletter that I'm putting out with a guy named Victor. Victor, if you're out there listening, thanks for your help, as always. It's weekly consciousness in your inbox every week, plus a weekly session, a community session. So if you're interested in that, join in. Check the links down in the description below. All right, thanks very much for watching. I'm Brendan Lee. Till next time, put this video to good use. Otherwise, it's just entertainment. Catch you later. Bye.